All right, welcome back to another KBFIT 2.0 Critiques Kamron. Now this one might be my last one. I haven't made up my mind yet, but if it is my last one, it'll be ending on a good note because this will be showing an exercise that was done last week during my live that I made, and it's one exercise that I hadn't done in years. So I figure, if I'm going to end on this one, it'll be a good one that, like I said, I haven't done in a long time. As you know, if you guys watch my videos on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, whatever, you guys know I predominantly use dumbbells. I do throw in barbells from time to time, and obviously once a week I do my kettlebell workouts, but I usually stick to free weights, and I don't really do cables or machines that often or at all pretty much anymore for a long time. So with that being said, during this live that I did last week, some of the exercises that I was given, we use cables, and I wanted to kind of, do something a little bit different. So with that being said, this particular exercise, which I'm going to be doing my video on today, which is the cable crossover, as you'll see, my form isn't the best. And there's multiple reasons for that one, but I'll get into that. One of the things, though, I'll just give a lot of spoilers ahead of time, is that the weight was too heavy. Now I had done a practice, I do recall doing a practice set where I, did, just get the movement right, do a couple of reps just to make sure it was cool, but I feel like, okay, this is too light. So I wanted to go heavier, I wanted to push myself, I wanted to make sure that even though I'm doing different exercises, I'm still, getting in a good workout. I didn't want to go too light. But as usual, when I go too heavy, my form kind of falls apart. Another thing is, though, since I can't see myself, now usually when I am doing my own workouts, I am watching myself, but this time I think I was a little bit distracted because I was live, and so I didn't really look at myself too much, at least for the first couple of reps, to make sure that I was, doing it correctly. And sometimes things feel right, but when you're doing them and then you look back at them, they're completely wrong. Now this is an exercise that I have a lot of my clients do, and so it's one thing to be able to train it correctly versus actually doing it correctly. And now I kind of feel their pain, so to speak, because sometimes I'm telling them to do, to correct their form, and I feel like they think that they're doing the corrected form, but they're not. And now looking at myself and looking at both of these sets that I do, I could see why things aren't always as easy as they seem. So yeah, so that's one of the things. And when it comes to this particular exercises, there's different variations you can do it. There's different ways you can place your feet, different places you can place the cables. If you're gonna have them high, have them low, medium. This one I did them a little bit higher. I did high to low cable crossovers. Now a couple of critiques that I have off the top, I'll just say, because once I get into watching it, it's gonna be hard to kind of talk really fast. So one of the things is that range of motion. One of the things for all exercises, I try to make it clear, you want to get that stretch, right? So bringing my arms back further enough so I can get that stretch in the chest. Didn't do that. Another thing is, I feel like my arms are too bent. Now that could be controversial, because if you look on YouTube and you look at the perfect form for cable crossovers, you'll see arms all different types of ways. You'll see people with straighter arms, with bent arms, all over the place. I particularly feel like I should have had my arms a little less bent and a little more straight, and then pull back more for better range of motion. I did not. And then the follow through. You'll notice that I didn't have a good follow through of my arms. They were, like I said, they just look awkward. You'll see. And then my stance was awkward. I think that helped my bad form as well, is my stance was awkward, and that was also due to the heavier weight, because when you're on your feet versus if you're on a bench and you're sitting down, you're a bit more stable. You have to actually engage almost your entire body in order to do the cable crossover, right? As I said earlier, if you go on YouTube, Instagram, what you'll see different places that people place their feet. Some people have their feet hip width apart or wider, or like me, I like to do the stagger stance, and sometimes I'll switch my feet, right foot in front, left foot in front, just to switch it up a bit. But for me, because I am barefoot, so I don't have grip on my shoes because I'm not wearing shoes, it took a lot more effort to keep stable and to have my body hold the weight. So a lot of the issues that I dealt with in this exercise was not necessarily, the actual press of it, was also just keeping my body from flying back from holding the weight. So with that being said, that's pretty much all the spoilers, and now you can see in action. Like I said, I do 2 sets, and we'll get to set 1 and action. All right, set number 1. As usual, I think my pace could have been a little bit better. Not terrible. See how my arms look? To me, my arms look very awkward. Not a good follow through at all. Yeah. Not a good follow through at all. So yeah, the pace was as usual a little bit too fast. Not terrible pace, but like I said, my arms were looking a little bit weird. Not great range of motion, and it looked like I was struggling mostly with, you know, just keeping myself from flying backwards. All right, set number 2. As you know, as usual, I did look at the footage in between the sets, tried to make adjustments, tried to improve. We'll see if I improved or not. All right, and action. All right, trying to get my legs a little bit better. I try to get my positioning a little bit better. See, I'm doing a little bit better follow through on this one. The pace I'm not too upset with. I think I got a better range of motion on this one as well. But now my arms are starting to look a bit weird again. Yeah, not terrible, but not, yeah, they're starting to look very weird. So yeah, so there was slight improvement in the second set, not as terrible as the first set, but both sets obviously need improvement. Once again, this is exercise I hadn't done since like probably 2021. So you know, I'm out of practice on it other than just training clients to do it. And obviously when I'm training clients to do it, I use lighter weight for the demonstration versus what I'm trying to do when I'm actually lifting it for myself. But yeah, so that's one of the exercises. Like I said, you will see many different variations of it when you go on YouTube to check what the proper form is. But I feel like watching this one, you can see at least the improper form. So it's one of those exercises where it's kind of like, don't necessarily copy what I do. And I try to make that clear when you watch my reels and shorts and whatnot. My form isn't always the best, so I don't necessarily feel that you should always do what I'm showing you, right? But anyways, with that being said, that's the cable crossover, and we'll see if I do another one next week. If I were to grade myself on this one, considering everything, I probably would give myself a C-. A C-. I will add the increments of weight is like 10 to 15 pounds. I wasn't able to move it up 5 pounds. If I was able to move it up 5 pounds or move it down 5 pounds, I probably would have still gotten a good workout plus better form, but you know, that's what happened. Anyways, as usual, thank you guys for watching. So till the next time, maybe I'll see you guys in the next video.